I'm Anna Bonnage, based in South West of England. Here at Upper Lordswood Stables, today I want to talk to you about liberty work. This approach to liberty work was introduced to me about 20 years ago by a horse trainer in America called Harry Whitney. I've always chosen to continue to use this approach when a horse arrives at my yard because there's no driving involved. It's not about sending them away from you first. It's about helping them find you, helping them find that you've got some comfort to give them, some reassurance to give them, helping them put their attention onto you. I'd like to explain that today. The first thing I think about when a horse arrives at my yard is taking them to the arena and letting them loose, and then just seeing what they want to say. What are they going to tell me? Some horses don't leave, they just stay right there with you. Some horses gallop around the arena trying to look for another horse in the field next to the arena. So today I put Fern in the arena when she arrived and just wanted to see what she was going to tell us. The first thing I do when I let go of her, take the halter off, is just see, can she stay there with me? She doesn't need to run away. Can she just stay there with me? But very often you'll see that a horse doesn't find much comfort in us because their first thing they'll do is leave. And I'd like it to be that the first thing they did was stayed and really wanted to get closer to me because I was some help to them when they're in an unusual environment.
So here we see Fern ignoring me, seeing no reason to pay attention to me, and not understanding to follow the feel of the rope. She's pushing on me there with her shoulder. I get further away from her there, just to help get her attention and draw her around. Here, she's not following the feel of the rope. She's resisting my ask to think in my direction. I'd like her to stay with me here when I take the halter off, so I stroke her to help her stay. There she goes. She's left. I know she's left. See, her attention is not on me at all. I did something there with the flag to surprise her when she was fully engaged in other things rather than me. There you see her. She doesn't think I'm of any importance to her. Her environment is much more important. She even called just there. So I'm specifically drawing around with my feet at certain times, right here, to draw her. Now there's a drive-by. That's what I call it. She engaged for a second and then she left. It's really important that you don't use the flag unless her attention is fully off you. Just watch every time I use the flag. It's when her ears and her eyes are fully engaged elsewhere. You see, it's really important that we don't accidentally destroy a horse's willingness by accidentally using the flag when they're trying to get with us. I'd like to just talk about the fact that if a horse's attention is on something in the distance, as far as they're concerned, we're in their way of physically going there. So when we have a horse's attention, here, like here you see, she's drawing round. That was really nice. When we have a horse's attention, their thoughts are here with us. So then their body can fully relax. Their mind and their body always working to be in the same place. So you'll see through this video that the anxiety that showed up in Fern at the beginning of this starts to fade away. Now, as her attention becomes more on me, see, you see there she grabbed at some grass. She's not hungry. I don't think she's hungry. It's more an anxiety. She's not clear yet. She's getting the idea to think about me. You see, like here, she's thinking about what I might want. That was nice. She thought maybe she should draw around, but she's not fully clear on it yet. That was lovely. I like that. I waited there because I wondered if she was going to come to me. Just relaxing the flag there. That's nice. That felt good to me when she came round there. So if she's not fully clear, as she's not yet, they'll grab at some grass because it's just something else to do, thinking somewhere else, trying to get her mind somewhere else other than here with us because of the lack of clarity that she still is experiencing. You may be wondering why my use of the flag isn't causing Fern to panic and leave. It's actually causing her to pay more attention to me and, in doing that, relax. See, when she takes her attention fully off me, a noise with the flag triggers Fern's self-preservation, causing her to want to look. Then, when she looks around, I offer her a sense of relief, a quietness, which feels good to her. I become someone she wants to stay with. Fern tried really hard there. She really tried to get with me in turning to me. So I want to help her, so I'm approaching her here to stroke her, to reassure her. And I'm just doing a little something there with my hand to get her attention. Doesn't have to be much, but I don't really want to approach a horse that isn't thinking about me. Every time she looked away, I did something small to get her attention. That's nice. She waited while I stroked. Now her attention's elsewhere. She's not quite confident enough yet. Her self-preservation is still causing her to need to look elsewhere. But that's okay for now. By the end of the video, you'll see that when I stroke her, she stays fully engaged with me. You may have noticed there, when she was looking at me, is when I drew away from her to encourage her to come when she was looking. There, I did a little something. Little tap there, that was nice. She engaged. She won't stay long mentally with me because she's not in a habit of that. But she's trying to stay with me there. She feels good. So you'll know things are going in the right direction when the use of the flag becomes less. You see there, she drew around beautifully with hardly anything, just following my feel. Now she's ignoring me. I think I'm going to have to use the flag. She's fully ignored me by sniffing the ground. But what a great change. She turned around there. She didn't leave. And her attention came straight onto me. Now then, I did a little something. I didn't need the flag. I just did a little something by jumping. And that got her thinking about me. She's pretty stuck on me there. It's good. She's relaxing her jaw, licking and chewing. Again, that was great. I didn't need the flag, you see. Over the session, you'll find, if your timing's good, you'll use the flag less and the horse will become more attentive. Lovely. Didn't need the flag. She's not committed to sniffing there. that was nice. She wasn't committed to it. She had more attention on me than she did on the floor. Something to consider when working with horses is which type of character you're working with. This sort of horse can become quite stoic. She can become quite shut down mentally and try to blank the human out, become reluctant to move, resistant to our asks. And with this type of horse, it makes the human feel like they want to hurry her along and make changes happen sooner. But if you hurry this process, you'll end up doing more than she's doing. She'll end up standing in the arena watching you run around. I like this, you see. She stayed lined up there with me mentally as I approached and stroked her. And after this, you see, she's following around with me. That was a really good try for this horse. So here I'm starting to think about how I might want to start introducing her to the idea of me being able to direct her around the arena. This approach to liberty work starts with her understanding to follow us, to find us, to see us of some help, to put their attention onto us. But once they realise they can come to us for comfort and they're not in that arena on their own running round, then I start to think about the process of directing them. And we'll talk about that a little later when we get to that. But it's on my mind that we'll think about that in a bit. I'm just wondering here whether she's going to let down a little bit more or whether I need to progress to directing her a little. But she's trying hard in some areas to stay with me, so I'm just giving her some comfort, some reward for staying with me by giving her scratches. I'm not inclined to use treats, you see, food treats, to help a horse stay with us. I like to reward a horse rather like another horse would, give another horse comfort by scratching them. That was nice. She's still not giving with her front feet, coming like she could with the front feet. That will come in time. Hey, there you go. She's letting down. On a deeper level, this yawning shows that she's letting down on a deeper level, relaxing more. I say that because a horse holds a lot of tension in their jaw. And these yawns, she's stretching out her jaw and feeling. It shows she's feeling better. But I like these yawns because they occurred during the process of working with me. Now, sometimes you'll see a horse, you'll finish the session, you'll take them back to the stable, and they're in the stable next to their new friend, and a few minutes later they start yawning. Well, I'm not very keen on that because it's usually a sign that they're relieved that the process is over, and that doesn't feel good to me. I want a horse to feel better during the process, just like Fern's experiencing now. I really want her to absorb that feeling, so I'm just waiting there. There's no hurry at this point. You want a horse to Really remember how good it felt to be there in the arena with you. You see, some people at this point might be feeling, well, there's just a person standing in the arena with a horse. But actually, she's trying more and more to get with me when I give her the time. You see, that was great there. I waited, and her mind was so with me that her front feet kept coming while I was waiting, standing still. That was a sign to me there that her mind was getting more with me. Now look at this. I paused. I didn't have to use the flag. I didn't have to move my hand to get her attention. I just paused, and that caused her to check in with me and look at me. I had to do a little something there to get her attention again. But on the other occasion, that I was really pleased with that, when she looked just because I stopped scratching her. Like I said earlier, during the session, you want to feel like the horse is giving more, becoming more attentive, becoming more relaxed, and you're doing a little less. Oh, I like that. Shaking like that just backs up the yawning that she was doing. Hey, and then she's yawning again. The shaking and the yawning, they're physical signs that she's feeling better. What I'm showing you here today is how to work with helping a horse change on the inside, change how they're feeling, because how a horse feels affects everything they do. Change how a horse feels and you'll change how they behave. Fern knows enough about staying with me now that I'd like to see if she can stay with me while I direct her. Notice I'm not making her leave. I'm suggesting that she follow my direction. And then I'm suggesting here that she draw back to me. My feet changed. They were going with her and then they drew back. And she isn't quite aware of the meaning of that at the moment. During this session, Fern's starting to realise that the things I do are possibly worth keeping an eye on. Rather like another horse. If a new horse came in the arena, I think she'd be quite attentive to them. But horses become in a habit of ignoring us. But things are getting better here today. So when Fern arrived, her owner explained to me that she struggled to catch her sometimes. And we just saw there that she thought about leaving. I'm pleased she stayed with me, but she thought about leaving. And it's interesting that that's shown up now after I directed her a little. There we go again. She's lacking confidence in this area. This tells me this is something I need to help her with. She needs to know that when we approach her, she doesn't have to leave, she can stay there with us. So I'm going to ask her if she can go out on the circle following my direction without driving her, just suggesting she go out and stay with me mentally. Staying with me mentally is causing her to naturally put a little bend in her body. And she sniffed the floor there. I like the fact that when I suggested her to put a little hurry in her feet and not think about the floor instead, I like the fact that she moved along there and then she drew around and thought about me. You see, this is the start of your lunging. Just asking at liberty if she can follow your direction out and around and then draw back to you. The work that you've done up until this point of helping them learn to stay with you, that being with you next to you is of comfort. Then when they're out on the circle, they know to draw back to you. You've got that foundation in there. A lot of people suffer from a horse being out on the lunge with a bend in the opposite direction. Well, this is because the horse's attention, the horse's thoughts are outside of the circle. They're not here with the person in the circle. So this liberty work, to have her circle, you see the left bend coming there? To have her circle without a rope involved and to draw her attention back to you just from following your body language is of great value when you start lunging. So day 2, I really like this clip. She's with me. She had a readiness in her feet to come along with me. She's following my direction here when I ask her to bring her thoughts to me. She's staying with me as I take the halter off. Very different to yesterday when she left as I took the halter off. I did a little something there. You see, there's no need for the flag today. She understood yesterday that staying with me when she went into a new environment was of benefit to her. Now look at those feet coming along freely. Fern had been introduced to the saddle by her owner before she arrived at my yard, so I put it on before today's session. I just love how Fern's attention is with me today, causing her feet to follow me most everywhere I go. It's only the beginning of the session and she's already yawning. It shows me the progress that we made yesterday. I like to keep in mind that what can feel like small changes, small progress to the human, actually means a lot to the horse. Do keep in mind that once your horse understands something, there's no need to repeat it. Fern's clarity to find me as a source of comfort through yesterday's session won't need to be repeated. I'll help her discover she can stay with me in this way, in the many other things we go on to do together. This is just the start of Fern's 6 weeks with me, being backed, the start of her life as a riding horse. I see it that the foundations of my relationship with Fern was built yesterday, and everything we do together will be easier because of this work.